Darwinism is a theory of biological evolution given by the famous English naturalist Charles Darwin. It states that all species of organisms arise and develop through the natural selection of small inherited variations that increase the individual's ability to compete, survive and reproduce. This theory is also called as Darwinian theory. The core of Darwin's theory is natural selection, a process that occurs over successive generations and is defined as the differential reproduction of genotypes. Natural selection requires heritable variation in a given trait and differential survival and reproduction associated with possession of that trait. Examples of natural selection are well documented both by observation and through the fossil record. Charles Darwin 1809 to 1882 AD, an English naturalist, was the most dominant figure among the biologists of the 19th century. The theory of natural selection was announced in 1858 by Charles Darwin and Alfred Russel Wallace in the Linnean Society of London. Both arrived at the theory independently as a result of various experiments. Darwin travelled round the world on the ship HMS Beagle with a surveying expedition for 5 years from 1831 to 1836 and explored South America, the Galapagos Islands and other islands. During his journey, he made extensive observations of animals and plants. He noted a huge varieties and remarkable similarities among organisms and their useful adaptations to environment. He became convinced that the theory of spatial creation and the idea of fixity of species were incorrect. This made him an evolutionist. Most biologists call the theory of natural selection the Darwin-Wallace theory, but since Darwin's thesis was much better documented, the theory is often known as Darwinism. It was later explained by Darwin in his monumental book On the Origin of Species by Means of Natural Selection in November 1859. Darwin died on April 19, 1882. Publication of Darwin's book raised controversy. The concept of evolution was opposed primarily on ethical and religious grounds. However, Darwin's logic finally convinced the people. The theory of natural selection is based on the following factors: rapid multiplication, limited environmental resources such as food and space, struggle for existence, variation, natural selection or survival of the fittest, inheritance of useful variations, formation of new species. The ability to reproduce is basic to all living organisms and is a most important way which ensures continuity of the species. Reproduction generally occurs in geometrical progression. All animals and plants tend to multiply in geometrical progression. In other words, a population that doubles its number in a first year can increase to 4 times in a second year and to 8 times in a third year, and so on. Every species produces high numbers of offspring, then can be supported in a particular environment and can survive. A few examples are cited to illustrate excessive multiplication of individuals in some organisms. Paramecium. Paramecium divides 3 times in 48 hours. If it divides with this rate, in 5 years, a single paramecium will produce a mass of paramecia equal to 10,000 times the size of the earth. Cod. The cod fish may produce over 1,000,000 eggs in a year. If all the eggs develop into fishes, the whole Atlantic Ocean will be full of cods in 5 years. Oyster. An oyster may lay crores of eggs at a single spawning. If all the eggs develop and the young ones survive for 5 generations, there would be more oysters than the estimated number of electrons in the visible universe. Elephant. The elephant is a slow breeder. Its life is of 90 years. It starts breeding at the age of 30 years. During its lifetime, it produces only 6 offspring. Yet, if all the young ones survive, a single pair would produce 19 crores elephants in about 750 years. Plants. Plants produce thousands of seeds each year, but no population can continue to increase indefinitely over time, or it would soon overburden its environment. In spite of the enormous reproductive potential of organisms under natural condition, the number of individuals of each species remains nearly constant over long periods of time. This is because the great majority of potential offspring die. Increase of population in animals and plants requires more space and food for survival, but the space in the universe remains constant. The ultimate source of food for all plants and also animals consists of carbon dioxide of the air and water and mineral salts of the soil. These materials do not increase. This fact is proved by the biogeocycles of these materials in nature. The number of individuals an organism can support, also known as the carrying capacity of environment, does not allow its population to grow beyond the limit and an equilibrium is reached. The population moves around this equilibrium. Hence, the population size remains nearly constant. Because of excessive multiplication by the parents and limited space and food supply, there starts a severe competition among the offspring for their requirements. Every individual makes efforts for fulfillment of its basic needs, namely suitable space to live, food to eat, mate to reproduce and protection from enemies. This competition for the primary necessities of life is called struggle for existence. The struggle for existence is of 3 types for every individual. Intraspecific struggle, this is the struggle between the individuals of the same species. This is the keenest form of struggle, as the needs of the individual of the same species are somehow identical. This struggle can be exemplified by the efforts of 2 dogs for a piece of meat. War is an intraspecific struggle in humans. Cannibalism is also a form of intraspecific struggle. Interspecific struggle, this is the struggle between the individuals of different species. This struggle is illustrated by the efforts of a snake for catching a rat and of the rat for escape. Environmental struggle, this is the struggle of the animals with the changes in environmental factors such as heat, cold, drought, flood, storm, famine, light, etc. Variation is the law of nature. Variation in biology is any difference between cells, individual organisms or groups of organisms of any species. Every individual varies in some respect such as size, shape, structure and behavior from other members of its species. Even the offspring of the same parents are never exactly alike, except the identical twins. In fact, in each population, some variability always exists for almost every trait. In the struggle for existence, the individuals which have more favorable variations will have a competitive advantage over others which have less favorable or unfavorable variations, and therefore, it will survive and reproduce. For instance, during a severe drought, the plants which can maximize absorption of water and can minimize its loss have a greater chance of survival than the others. Similarly, the fast running rabbits are more likely to survive a chase by a fox than the slow ones. In other words, only the organisms which are well adapted to their environment are recognized as fit, and thus they survive in the struggle for existence. The key factor in determining survival is adaptation to the environment. Any variation such as physical, physiological or behavioral which gives individual an advantage over another individual will act as a selective advantage in the struggle for existence. Individuals with unfavorable variations have a selective disadvantage and are rejected by nature. In this way, natural selection leads to check within the species. The competition is so severe that only a few individuals survive out of millions. This sorting out of the individuals with useful variations has been called natural selection by Darwin and survival of the fittest by English social philosopher Herbert Spencer in 1820 to 1903. Natural selection acts to preserve and accumulate minor advantageous genetic mutations. The individuals which survive in the struggle for existence grow into adults and produce young ones that resemble them, so that a particular successful variety is preserved. The inferior disadvantaged member of the same species would gradually die out, leaving only the superior advantaged members of the species. Natural selection is the preservation of a functional advantage that enables a species to compete better in the wild. Darwin and Wallace thus recognized the environment as the principal cause of natural selection. The environment would gradually clean out the organisms with unfavorable variations, but preserve those with favorable variations. Darwin failed to recognize the source of variations in organisms. In the field of biology, inherited variation refers to genes and genetic information transferring from both parents to offspring. Biological variation occurs in all species, including humans, plants and other animals. The individuals, after their selection by nature in the struggle for existence, pass on their useful variation to the next generation. Thus, the offspring of the fit individuals will also be fit. Darwin did not differentiate between continuous and discontinuous variations. He held that any variation which is favorable to its possessor included even the acquired characters. In this respect, Darwin agreed with Lamarck. In each generation, new favorable variations appear and supplement the favorable variations inherited from the parents. After a number of generations, the variations become so many and so prominent that their possessors turn into the members of a new species. New species thus arise by gradual modification of the older ones. Darwin's theory of natural selection is today recognized as the main contribution in the evolution of organisms. It, however, has evidences both for and against it. Most of the factors in Darwin's theory, namely excessive multiplication, limited food and space, struggle for existence, abundance of variation and natural selection, generally operate in nature and can be observed. Darwin's theory is further supported by a few very important phenomena. Artificial selection. A close parallelism exists between natural selection and artificial selection. In breeding experiments on useful animals, scientists select individuals with desired traits and separate them from those which do not possess such characters. The selected ones are permitted to mate among themselves. After repeating the process for a few generations, a new breed of the animal is formed. In this way, scientists have been able to produce several varieties of domestic animals such as dogs, horses, pigeons, poultry, cows, goats, sheep, pigs, etc., and many cultivated crops, fruits and ornamental plants from their wild type ancestors. Darwin himself produced several varieties of pigeons by artificial selection. If man can produce new varieties or breeds in a short period, he can easily produce new species by selection. Mimicry and protective coloration. The remarkable cases of mimicry and protective coloration found in certain animals are the products of natural selection. They could reach their present stage of perfection only by gradual change occurring side by side in both the models and the predators. Correlation between nectaries of flowers and proboscis of insects. Position of nectarines in flowers is wonderfully related to the length of the proboscis of the insects that pollinate them. This relation between two different organisms cannot develop suddenly. It can evolve gradually as envisaged by the theory of natural selection. The theory does not explain certain factors of life. Darwin himself realized that natural selection has been the main but not the exclusive means of modification. There are some points which are not explained by the theory. Inheritance of small variations. Darwin told that small variations form the raw material for evolution. This means that organs appear as small structures and gradually become perfect after several generations. There are certain organs which can be helpful to the animal only in the fully developed condition. For example, wing of a bird. It is difficult to understand the inheritance of such organs in their initial stage when they are not of any advantage to their possessor. Perpetuation of vestigial organs. According to the theory of natural selection, only the useful organs are selected in the struggle for existence. The vestigial organs serve no function, yet they are being preserved as such generation after generation. Over specialization of organs. In certain animals, some organs have developed beyond the stage of usefulness. Example, antlers of deer, tusks of elephants, etc. These organs, instead of proving useful to their possessors, offer hindrance in their daily life. There is no place for their selection in Darwin's theory. Lack of reasons that produce variations. Darwin's theory simply states that the nature selects individual with useful variations, but the causes of variations are not explained by it. The factors that bring about variations are obviously the primary causes of evolution and must be included in the theory. Distinction between continuous, non-inheritable and discontinuous, inheritable variations. Darwin held that any variation which is favorable to the organism could be inherited. This is not true in view of the present knowledge of genetics. Disapproval of Darwin's theory of inheritance. Darwin put forward his theory of inheritance entitled Theory of Pangenesis in 1868. It was disapproved by the theory of germplasm advanced by August Weismann in 1892. Principle of natural selection. The theory of natural selection may be summarized as 5 observations and 3 inferences derived from them. Ernest Mayr, 1982. Observations: rapid multiplication, stability of populations, limited food and space. Inference: struggle for existence. Struggle for existence, variations. Inference: natural selection or survival of the fittest. Natural selection. Inference: formation of new species. Natural selection therefore is differential success in reproduction and its product is adaptation of organisms to their environment. It occurs through interaction between the environment and the variability in the population. Thus, natural selection is merely a restrictive and directive factor rather than a creative one. It explains the survival of the fittest, but not the arrival of the fittest. Neo-Darwinism is the modern synthesis of Darwinian evolution through natural selection with Mendelian genetics, the latter specifying that evolution involves the transmission of characteristics from parent to offspring through the mechanism of genetic transfer. Neo-Darwinism, also called the modern evolutionary synthesis, generally denotes the integration of Charles Darwin's theory of evolution by natural selection, Gregor Mendel's theory of genetics as the basis for biological inheritance, and mathematical population genetics. Neo-Darwinism has been one of the most significant overall developments in evolutionary biology since the time of Darwin. Essentially, Neo-Darwinism introduced the connection between two important discoveries, the units of evolution, genes, with the mechanism of evolution, natural selection. By merging classical Darwinism with the rediscovered Mendelian genetics, Darwin's ideas were recasted in terms of changes in allele frequencies. Neo-Darwinism thus fused two very different and formally divided research traditions, the Darwinian naturalist and the experimental genetics. Evolution is the process by which different kinds of living organisms are believed to have developed from earlier forms during the history of the earth. Many theories have been put forward to explain the process of evolution. The theory of evolution by natural selection was given by Charles Darwin. In this interaction, we have studied Darwinian theory in detail.